Time to check in on our social life. The Giants selected pass rusher Abdul Carter with the 3rd pick in last week's draft. In an interview right after being drafted, Carter said he wanted to wear Lawrence Taylor's number, 56. But LT said, prompting Carter to tweet the quote, "The worst thing he could do is say no. My stance don't change. LT is the GOAT. Nothing but respect." Key, are you surprised that LT didn't give up his retired number to Abdul Carter?
Come on now, stop it. Why would you even ask? First of all, it's the national.
Okay, well, I'm asking you this because we're doing a show.
I'm talking about him.
And then I have to ask the question.
Why would he even put that request in?
Well,
it's not college.
Listen,
if it was in college,
we are in an era and time where we are erasing history. It's very important that we tell the right
erase it and bring it back. Okay, got it.
All right, that is aligned with the administration. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. I don't believe in this. I think if you retire a number, it should never, under any circumstances.
No, in college, I don't mind it in college because certain positions in college are known for certain numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like USC's linebackers, for instance, are all known with 55, the good ones that all went in the first round, things of that nature. So it's cool. Like Penn State, all of their pass rushers that were really good for the most part were 11. And I'm okay with that, but you can't, Paul, you can't. I'm going to go ask LT to unretire his jersey for me to wear it.
I would have loved to be a fly on the wall for that conversation as well.
Like, in a way, like, and I get it that you want to follow in the footsteps of him, but it's time for the young fella to go out and make your own name and your own legacy.
Yeah.
Because what if he becomes one of the greats? Both of those numbers, I mean, it's already, the 56 is there.
Your number's retired.
Yes, my number's retired.
Yeah.
So, like,
are you ever going to let anybody wear your number?
No, because think about this. If somebody comes along and takes my number and then have a greater career, who gonna get recognized for it?
So you don't want nobody to ever outshine you.
I mean, but it don't make sense. We gonna have our own lane.
Yeah, I just don't think it makes sense. Why are you going to retire numbers if it's even an option to unretire it? And obviously the only person who could, in my opinion, to prove the unretiring it is the player. And I get it. It's aspirational.
College
at the end of the day, but this is the NFL. But also, Lawrence Taylor is widely considered as the greatest player to ever play football. Like, if you ask certain people, they're like, yeah, Tom Brady is great, but Lawrence Taylor's the greatest ever. And it can be argued. So I just think, you know.
LT probably.
And then if you don't live up to that.
You think LT laughed?
Man, he probably was giggling and everything else. Like, I bet you he was.
I'd love to be on the fly on the wall for the conversation. Well, he's not going to be wearing 56, so we will watch his career in a different number. But sticking with the draft, the Browns were the team to finally take Shedeur Sanders off the draft board, and Cleveland has already been rewarded financially for the decision because his jersey is already the 3rd highest sold jersey from the draft. The Browns quarterback room is crowded, but Cleveland declined to pick up Kenny Pickett's 5th-year option today. So, Key, is Shedeur the Browns' best option at quarterback?
It will be. It may not be right this second, but it will be. And when you start to think about it, they declined Kenny Pickett's 5th-year option. So that's telling you right there, they like, he ain't worth whatever that number is going to be, whatever that $20-something million number going to be on the 5th-year option. Then Dylan Gabriel is a guy that they took in the 3rd round, but I don't even think that they really care that they took him in the 3rd round, right? They like, okay, we took him in the 3rd round, but we still like Shedeur. Shedeur had a higher, it's so crazy because Shedeur had a higher grade than Dylan Gabriel, and they didn't take him in the 3rd round.
Oh, by the experts?
Yeah, by the experts. He had a higher grade, but they knew that. And as he was sitting there, they started looking at that thing, and I don't know, you're hearing rumors that the owner made them take him. You start hearing all this sort of stuff. Whatever the case is, on opening day or 3 weeks in, he's going to be underneath the center because he's going to beat all of these dudes out. And then some of them, Kenny Pickett may not even make it to regular season. And I wouldn't be shocked if Gabriel didn't make it to the regular season. Guys do get cut or put on practice squads.
3rd round pick?
Dudes do get cut. It's not the same as when me and your brother was playing. They don't look at these 3rd and these 4th and 5th round picks it's nearly the same way as they did in the past. They don't have a problem with saying we can let him go because the money is not that significant. is just not as significant. Kenny Pickett's only making a couple $1 million. In comparison to in the National Football League, that's nothing. They'll say bye-bye to him in a heartbeat because they need the roster space.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad look if Shedeur is under center, given a chance by week 3, and Daniel Gabriel's not.
That's not a bad look at all. I can go all the way back to Pete Carroll,
So
man. I can go all the way back to what Pete did.
So, start of the season, starter. Flacco?
If they don't get Kirk Cousins, then I would say that they
got
would.
5 quarterbacks back there, and they still looking? I mean, what's going on?
No, they don't have 5. They don't have 5. They only got 4. They only got 4.
They got 5.
Don't count Deshaun. Deshaun.
Yeah, don't count Deshaun.
Don't count Deshaun.
Okay.
He ain't gonna see the field in this next season because of his injury. And so they got 4.
You got 4 quarterbacks in the room, and you still looking.
Well, they're not looking. They just haven't made a decision.
And you took 2 in the draft. I don't see
gotta make a
Cousins
decision.
going there, though.
No, but if they try to make this trade for Kirk Cousins, then they can make a decision. Then they got to do away with Flacco. And then you got the young dudes and Kirk Cousins to be alone there to kind of teach them along the way. But if for some reason they can't get Kirk Cousins, Flacco will probably be the starter maybe in 1 or 2 weeks. But I can go all the way back to Pete Carroll, though, Paul. Pete Carroll signed Matt Flynn to a crazy deal at the time, drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. The money that was guaranteed, he told him, said, man, you just keep that, man.
Go ahead.
Go and keep that. Buy your family something nice. We're going to go with Russ here.
Right.
And the rest was history. So this could happen that way.
I mean, we'll see. According to everyone, he's a 5th-round prospect, so he shouldn't be ready to play by the end of camp. If everyone is, if everyone out there is correct about him going in the right place.
Well, I sent you this morning the text message that came from a quarterback expert guru who has coached in the National Football League, has been a coordinator and coached quarterbacks. As you said on the show yesterday, people don't know what they're looking at. And he concurred, period.
Thank you for that, Key. Sometimes I'll be right. I don't know what he's going to end up being. But I do think he has an opportunity that is
huge opportunity,
perfect for this situation.
But
because
he don't go in there
to your
prepared.
point, while I think it's kind of crazy to just write off a 3rd-round pick, I think a 3rd-round pick is actually quite valuable. But if he does beat out Dylan Gabriel, which I think is perfectly possible, there's no one who you're looking at in that quarterback room right now like they must be the starter.
Yeah.
Now, if they get Kirk, I agree. But Kirk isn't there. So right now, looking at the room, there's nobody you're like, he absolutely needs to be the starter week 1. Any one of them who is the starter week 1 is reasonable. Joe Flacco's a veteran. Kenny Pickett has started many games. Dylan Gabriel's your 3rd-round pick. And Shedeur Sanders might be good enough to beat out all of them. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, they're in a great position.
But they also look at it from a money standpoint, too. Remember, the 1st-round dudes all get their guaranteed money. So it's a little bit different.
Right.
After that, everybody's base salaries is basically the same.
It's everyone's job to win at this point.
That's everybody's job to win. Nobody's made the team.
Right. So looking at it from that perspective, I think whoever is the starter should have the confidence of the team, because there's certain situations where someone's making a lot of money, or they've made a big trade for somebody, or there's something hovering that's like, you kind of got to start him. Like Russ.
Yeah.
Like Russ and Justin Fields. Like Justin started because Russ got injured. But they brought Russ in, and it was like, you kind of got to start Russ at this point.
And I think the city of Cleveland is kind of going to be behind Shedeur.
Well, clearly the fans are already behind
exactly, more so than those other quarterbacks.
But because I think, while I don't like a quarterback competition, because I generally believe that quarterback competitions means that you don't have a quarterback, I do think that this is an opportunity that is, and I don't like quarterback competitions, and I don't like the word fair, but this is about as fair of a competition as you can get, because there's nobody that has the card that okay, we have to start him at the beginning of the season. So whoever ends up being the starter will have really, truly won it in camp, in my opinion. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.